All right, so I'm gonna just get straight to the point and talk about some Amazon action now, and why I left it all that. This is gonna be part two. Part one was mainly me showing you guys the environment and all that. It was mainly just like you seeing the action, you seeing all of it. Part two is going to be more of me just telling you the action and explaining why I quit and all that. Now, I apologize for the gloomy weather and all that. I wish I could make it a little more brighter, but this is the best I could do. Anyway, let's get straight to the point. Because when I first started, I started as a DSP driver, an Amazon DSP driver. Now, let me tell you this: you are not a Amazon worker. You are a third-party worker. So basically, you're working for a mom and pop. Like, basically, you working through them. They work directly through Amazon. You work for the third party. The DSP stands for Delivery Service Provider. You are a delivery service provider, and you're working through you have a boss you're working through. So don't expect the benefits, because you're not going to get a lot of benefits, probably none at all. Now, barely I got any benefits. Like, hell, I think all I got was life assurance, and that was it. I could see why with this job, but that's all you pretty much get. Like I said, it varies from DSP to DSP, but when I have started, I barely got any benefits. You're not going to get Amazon Prime and all that. The warehouse do. Now, the warehouse get all that good stuff, but you will not get that. You are not going to get all that good stuff. Now, again, like I said, my DSP was cool. Now, I understand he was just doing his best or whatever, but this is all we was working with. All right, so anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get the pro out real quick. When the pro is, now I'm going to do the pros and cons. Now, the pro was when I was driving by myself and I get to listen to the music, pretty much. And I guess I'm out in the environment and meeting people, yay, that's it. Now for the cons, because there's a hell of a lot of cons, and I actually have notes to try to remember most of those cons. Now, but I'm gonna try to do it off at the top of my head because there's a lot. But I'm gonna summarize this video as quick as I can, straight to the point. Now, when it comes to the cons, first of all, when I first started working for this facility, they just opened up in October. Fast forward, it is March, so do the math there. Now, when I worked there, nursery routes, I got nursery routes, which it was great. Easy routes, you get like 40, 50 stops with like maybe 60, 70 packages or whatever. Easy stuff, great, great money. But that was, it was starting out at $20.25. Now, nursery routes is basically it's basically like, here you go, it's an easy route, and then they're gonna throw you the hard stuff after that. It's like to start you out, to get you the feel of it. Now, what I mean by each stop is basically you get one stop here, you get one stop there, you get one stop here. You're stopping to house to house to house. So when you go to house to probably apartment, it could be a farm, it could be anywhere. That is each stop. Now, you distribute all the packages there, vice versa. You know what I mean. So when it comes to the, each stop or whatever, that was fine. I didn't mind that because it was no balance. Even if it was almost 80, 70 stops, it was kind of balanced. It depends. Now we're going to get to the cons. So, God, where do I start? All right, so the first con is that I gotten way too much work. People say that when you're doing Amazon at the very beginning it's easy, but then it sounds easy on paper. You're just driving from one place to the other place and you're dropping off packages. It sounds easy on paper, but when you're doing it, when you get all these handicaps, it's like if you're playing Mario Kart and the other person got all this good stuff, shells and everything, and you're behind in fourth place and you get banana shells and crap. So that is basically what I was going through. When you start, like you start out with nursery routes, but then you automatically get like 150 stops, 130 stops. The highest I had was 170 stops. Now, I'm doing all of this, and I have to try to do this with no, whoops, I was trying to figure out what that was. I have to try to do this with absolutely almost no rescue. Sometimes I get a rescue, but when you get rescued, that makes you look bad. But how can I do all this by myself, especially if you're in a rural area? You are in deep country area going to stop at the stop at the stop. Sometimes you're going at the apartments where the apartments could be like way up there to the 6th floor and you got like 5 packages distributing it through the whole entire floor. It could be rough. It could be very challenging. And the first con is you get too much work. That I know that sound I'm not afraid of hard work, but when you get overwhelming a lot of work for one person, that is too much. You cannot do all that with one person. Like, it's unfair. It's unbalanced. I'm sorry for the sound because it's raining and stuff. Now, to the second con, we're going to talk about breaks. I know they say you get 2 15 minutes and 1 30-minute break, 1 lunch break. But let me ask you guys this at work in Amazon right now. Do y'all ever take that? And if y'all do take that, do anyone say anything about that? Do they get mad? I actually made a video about it, which y'all could check, about the whole break thing. I'm not going to explain it here, but I'm going to summarize it real quick. Long story short, I took one break, like a 10-minute break after I finished my routes, and I just needed something to eat. I was hungry, and also I needed a quick break because I got to drive an hour just to the station. Get a call from this dispatch. They get mad and yelled at me and said something about, oh, you're not allowed to take a break, and I'm going to tell the boss or whatever. What? Yeah, so again, that story is, which I'll probably pop it here if I know how to do it. It's there if y'all want to see that part. But yeah, you barely get any breaks. Like, and if you take it, they'll complain and they basically discourage you not to take breaks. They do not want you to take a break. They say that, but then when you take breaks, even if you take breaks at the mid shift or whatever, they're gonna be like, oh, what's going on? What's the hold up and stuff? Hey, I got 150 stops. Where the hell do you want me to take a break at? Do you want me to take a break or not? So, and actually, dispatch again was like at the office discouraging people not to take breaks. They said that, oh, if you take a break, it slows you down. So just try not to take breaks. Just if you have to eat, just get something before you start working, and then just eat a sandwich or whatever, or a peanut butter jelly sandwich or whatever. You can eat something where you don't have to warm it up. Come on, that is ridiculous. I have never heard anyone discourage people from taking breaks. What, it makes you sound weak or whatever? You know what, at the time, I just stopped doing that and I just started taking breaks. And I didn't care if they was mad at me because you know what? I wanted to eat. In that last video, I took a Subway break. I don't care if they got mad because they had to send a rescue for me. What the hell do you want me to do if I have 140 stops? You want me to not take a break? That's ridiculous. And now, another thing, we're going to talk about bathroom breaks. Yeah, that's one thing that I didn't like, that when you're out in a rural area or whatever, you're too far from going to the bathroom, so you either have to hold that to the best of your knowledge or use a bottle. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but there was plenty of people I have caught that had random bottles just chilling in the van because they just, I mean, they gotta go because they just wanted to save time and they didn't want to, waste any time. And unfortunately, that's how Amazon is. There was a whole video about that, about the whole bathroom breaks and all that, like not taking bathroom breaks and just trying to pee in bottles and all that. It's disgusting. But that is how Amazon treat you. They treat you like animals. They don't want you to take breaks. They want you to do the job as fast as possible, and they want this. They want more money. And I understand the DSP, again, this is the delivery service provider. They getting rushed by Amazon. Amazon like, hey, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to have them deliver this in the snow. You got to do all this. And I know they only human. They trying to work with both parties, but sometimes they give in to the Amazon lifestyle and they be like, okay, guys, you got to have this done really quick. You can't take breaks, whatever. Get the job done. And it just sucks. And I just could not deal with that anymore. So I was like, nope, I'm out, left. So, all right, so we're going to get to number 3. Now, number 3 is, give me a second. I have this all noted down on that. Oh, yeah, high turnover rates. Hell of a lot of high turnover rates. There's a reason why. I mean, so I'm not going to dabble on that too long, but basically, Amazon have an extreme high turnover rate. I thought Walmart and McDonald's had high turnover rates. No, Amazon blows that out the water. They go through drivers all the time. I always see a group of new people every other day. It's like, hey, welcome. My DSP got tired of welcoming everybody because there was so many people that just constantly keep coming in. And I mean, it's just, that's how it is because they do the job, they realize that the job is not worth it, and they leave. And keep in mind, when I was doing this job, I had to drive 1 hour, almost 1 hour to the facility, from my house to the facility, and then I had to drive another hour almost all the time to the first package. So that's a lot of driving right there. Maybe if I was closer it would have been better, but I still would have left anyway because of the conditions. But yeah, that was the high turnover rate is insane. And again, guys, I'm sorry with the weather. It's probably blowing like crazy, wind or whatever, but stuff that I could do. It's all right. So we're gonna go to, oh yeah, another thing is another one, the metrics, the scoring system. They, like, say if you're driving a van that have like the camera and all that, if you slightly tap brake too much, they will flag you. If you stop at a stop sign and it's not long enough, say like you go to a stop sign, you stop 1 second and you leave. No, it gotta be like maybe 2-3 seconds or whatever. And it's ridiculous. It is like when it comes to the metric score, like they will flag you for every damn thing. Like if I, like say, if you like left the key in or whatever, just because some people will leave the key in, or they will have, like, they don't turn the van off, because if the house is right there, they're just gonna drop it off and then come back because they're trying to save time with those key turns. They're trying not to do that. Well, you can get flagged for that, I think, too. Like, and I notice a lot of people do the seatbelt trick. Obviously, I know that's, may not be that good to do, but again, some people do that to save time. And what I mean by the seatbelt trick is you buckle before you go in, and then you just use the strap. Like, so you go like this and like that. So the whole time you're just using a strap, basically, to get out. I know that's not the greatest thing to do, and it's unsafe, but a lot of drivers was trying to save time. Like, we had to do things like that just to cut back, and we were still slow. There was one video I made, which I'm gonna pop somewhere if I know how to do that. I went extremely fast. I pistoned bottles and all that, and I was considered barely making it. How? I literally ran to house to house to house. I had like 100 and maybe, I think 150, 140 stops or whatever. And I hustled the crap out of that delivery. I only did that one time because I wanted to prove that this metric score sucked. Like in the system, in the computer. I wanted to prove that it sucked. It's probably windy as crap, so I may have to, let me pause this really quick. Yeah, I was testing to see if it was windy or whatever. Yeah, it's a big storm, but I said, screw it, let's keep going with this. So anyway, what I was talking about before was the metric system sucks, and like I made a video about that as well, like when I was trying to do the whole Amazon, like I was rushing the crap out of it, and still they considered that average. But one day I barely took my damn time. I slowed down, and they still in the system said that it was great. So I'm like, what the hell? That makes no sense. I actually took a damn break for once, and they actually said that was okay. But yet I didn't take a break in the last stop with the 150 something stopped, and they still said that was bad. So I'm confused on that. All right, so we're gonna get to the next one. Let me check. Little room for error. Basically, you have little room for error. Like say possibility you can crash the damn van, flip or whatever, fall asleep. People monster the shit out of those drinks. I actually got borderline diabetes because of all these monster drinks, and what could I do? Because I need to try to keep myself up, and I was tired. So I've been doing that for months and months, like literally almost every day, which I actually stopped now. So hopefully my borderline diabetes will go away. But you barely have any room for error. Like as soon as you out there, you can have traffic, and if that traffic slows you down by 20 minutes, well, that's gonna just ruin your day. You know, you can have a package that's missing. You can, and then it can pop up later on in a different tote, and then that way, when that showed up, well, guess what? You gotta backtrack to the last stop you was at because you didn't have that package that time. So it's a lot of problems that can happen doing these deliveries. And it's not just a straightforward kind of thing. It's sometimes you could be, some days you can have like a straight good deliveries, but most days it's not like that. When you have like almost 150 stops, errors can happen. Like you can go to apartments, you may not find the right apartments. Again, I pop videos on that about going through different apartments. Apartments are annoying, like especially if you really don't know those areas that well, and you almost never go to the same spot. Sometimes I've been going to multiple spots. I was always in different locations. I was almost never in, I'm keeping up with the time, I was almost never the same location. Different locations almost all the time, and it sucked. Because I never had time to get used to my normal stop. But they changed it or whatever. I guess they kept going through people. They thought maybe I was better for this spot, so they threw me there or whatever. But again, no room for error. You don't get any time to really absorb the information of the locations and all that, because the moment that you do, you're going to another location, and that's how it is. All right, so again, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about, but I'm trying to cut down on this because I do gotta go to work. But the thing is, when it comes to Amazon, it is a lot more cons than pros. I mean, you have like the environment, like the people, the dogs. Yeah, dogs, you're dealing with a lot of dogs. Like honestly, when I was doing it, I didn't have too much trouble with them, but there was times that I haven't ran from them because they was not chained, and a lot of owners don't like chaining their dogs. They think that they can keep their dogs in, like, okay, I understand if you're in a farm and you live out in the country, that's fine, but you are in different the location, you in like a mobile home. Why are you living in a mobile home and you got your dog unchained like that? What if kids walk past that dog and bite you? You think your dog is the big red dog, the big red Clifford dog, or whatever. Clifford the big red dog. That's not always the case. Your dog's not Lassie. Not every dog is friendly. Yeah, I know they say, oh, my dog is friendly. No, that's not always true. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Your dog can be pissed off one day and chew you. It can happen. People get pissed off just like dogs can get pissed off. Dogs can get pissed off just like people can get pissed off. It happens. Maybe you have a headache one day and you want to take it out on somebody. I can walk past and wave and you ready to chew me out. So I'm not saying your dog always could be bad, but don't just assume that your dog always, sometimes he could be good, but things can happen. Your dog can be pissed off one day and take it out on somebody. Besides, I don't know your dog. You know your dog. He may be nice to you, but he may not be nice to me. He don't know me. I don't know him. I'm sorry. I'm not going to trust your dog like your dog not going to trust me. If I walk to your house right now with a package, that dog is going to start barking and run after me because he's going to think I'm a threat. So that is why I say keep your dog chained up or locked up or whatever until the delivery is finished. Especially if you're expecting a delivery, keep your dog locked up. Anyway, next thing. I don't even know where to start. It's so many cons. But again, I'm just trying to shorten the video for you guys. I'm not trying to make it long and boring or whatever. But to summarize everything, in general, Amazon, and another pro is, I guess, working out. You get a lot of workout. Yeah, I lost 10 pounds. You can lose a lot of weight doing this, but because you're not eating much, you're starving the hell out of yourself, and because you're trying to get to point A to point B. It is a lot of work, and it's not fair. It's unfair to, the work conditions is unfair and stuff, and that's the only good thing about it is just the workout and listening to the music on the road or whatever. That's it. I listened to podcasts on the road. I did videos on the road. That was the only thing that was good with Amazon. Other than that, I didn't really like it. It wasn't fair. The work conditions, pissing in bottles, and you barely take breaks. You take no breaks at all. The metric scoring system sucks. They very sensitive with everything. I could slightly take a left turn and they would consider that, they would flag that, and I can get in trouble. So it just sucks. It really does. So I don't understand. So anyway, that's all I gotta say about Amazon. If you guys want to continue working at or whatever, by all means, go for it. I'm not going to stop you, but I am going to tell you that this is a job that you need to watch out for, because no benefits, there's no growth. I don't get no growth. What's the only growth? Being a dispatcher? That's the only thing that I can do. So basically, I can chill and be a dispatcher. No offense to dispatchers, but you get more breaks than us. We out on the road, basically sweating, drooling, while you guys chilling, eating, and waiting for calls for us. And you just monitoring us and see if we need help and all that. I know of dispatcher. I've done something similar like that with different jobs. It's not that hard. I'm not trying to bash on it, but come on, it's when it comes to being a dispatcher versus a driver, obviously dispatcher is going to be way easier, and I prefer to be a dispatcher, but unfortunately only a hand selected few will be that. So whatever, that's fine, but I don't care. I'm done with that job anyway. It is just too crazy. Again, the work conditions, all that. When you're dealing with that environment, people say, oh, it's easy on paper. It's easy. Yes, it is easy on paper. But again, if you have all these disadvantages, It's not easy. Play Tetris with your eye closed, like on level 20 or whatever. Like you're gonna see it's much more challenging when you. Oh, no, I'll actually be fair and say play it on level 1. You don't see anything, you won't know anything. Like you basically will be handicapped. Move the controller around. That is the environment that I'm dealing with. It's random. Sometimes it could be a good day. Sometimes it could be a bad day. I don't know because some days I could come in a casket. No one knows because you're driving all the time and you're putting yourself out there in danger. That job alone should be at least 25 an hour with benefits. I should be working directly for Amazon, not as a third party. I should be working directly with them with benefits, Amazon Prime, not goddamn life insurance only, health insurance, dental, all of that stuff should be in a package, 401k, all that good stuff. But unfortunately, you work for a DSP, they're not gonna give you shit, and this is what I had to deal with. So this is why I left. It's no growth. I'm not going to get much out of that job. Like, what am I gonna get? Like maybe 10 cent, 20 cent a year, a raise? Yeah, I got some bonuses. I'm not gonna lie about that. Once in a blue moon, I did get some bonuses and stuff. And for the closure, like say those snow days, I did get paid for that. And I'm actually grateful for that. But it's still not enough because that type of job, you are dealing with a lot of stuff. You are dealing with a lot of stuff. So it is like to balance it, honestly, especially since it's driving, it should be 25 an hour. And I'm gonna close this up. To make it better, it should be 25 an hour. It should be at least, I'll say, with more benefits than life insurance, goddammit. And then it should be a lot more that I'm dealing with than barely done. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say with Amazon. I gotta go to work. Guys, let me see if I missed anything. Nope. Yeah, I kind of screenshotted it here. Yeah, I said low pay, high workload, all that. All right, so anyway, you guys have a good one. Peace out. And that's the end of part 2 with why I left Amazon. So if you guys want to work there, or you think that, like, and then this, I'm addressing some of the comments in the last video. If you guys think that Amazon's a great company to work for, go ahead. If you think that I was lying and faking the struggle of trying to deliver those packages, you can try it. I mean, look for an Amazon facility in your location and sign up for it, and I guarantee you get hired because they'll hire any damn body. They don't care. So go for it. And tell me what you think. Like, I'm telling you to go out there and do it so that way you can see it. But anyway, I'm out.